What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Now, this is a very important video, and it's quite close to my sort of investing strategy and what I've sort of started to put my money in when I first started. So, stay with me, stay till the end if you can make it. I'd really appreciate the attention span. So, listen up, focus on, lock in, let's go. So, Celebrations has been a product that's been sort of slept on. I'd say on average, it's obviously had its recent climb these last couple months now, but it was people were sleeping on this big time. All the packs were so cheap, the cards were dirt cheap. Some of the cards, the value that you were getting for the artwork and for dirt cheap, and the market is drastically woken up overnight and actually decided to put some decent value towards these cards and these products. So I thought now would be a great time to make this video, just because of the appreciation recently. But it's important you guys get the info before that happens. So if you can, follow me on Insta, because this is where I am very vocal about making my next plays. And if you want to see what I'm buying before obviously the moves happen, then obviously get involved on there. Give me a follow, and yeah, hopefully you'll be a bit more informed, and it would go straight to you instead of you have to watch a video and find out that way. So yeah, give me a follow on there, and yeah, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. So sealed products. Let's start with regular Celebrations ETB. So as you can see, we've had a nice little 50% increase over the last, I want to say, 4 or 5 months. It was very muted around these levels, 80. It had a long sort of stagnation period, pretty much the whole first half going into the second half of 2024. Like I say, this product's been, I think it's because it was heavily printed so much that people weren't opening it enough to get through that supply threshold for the price to go up. I think now people are starting to crack packs because they want the cards inside, and the cards are a lot more valuable. The sealed product has obviously started to climb off the back of that. As you'll see, we've got some singles later on in the video. But yeah, guys, high of £105, low of 48, and the current is selling for around 93 on eBay, last sold. So I think it's got a lot of room. I think it's got a lot of wiggle room. If you compare it to Generations, if you go take a look in your own time at some of the Generations products and the ETBs, I think you'll see it's very undervalued compared. Obviously, Generations was printed less. 25th anniversary got heavily printed, and we've obviously got the 30th anniversary coming next year. So you guys we got to start thinking ahead, with looking into the future. What's going to happen next year? What's happening to the Team Rocket cards just before the new Team Rocket sets come out? What's happening to all the Jesse and James cards that I got caught up in on eBay? So we need to start thinking about trends that appear in this market, and 25th anniversary, I feel, is very nostalgic and will do very well. So yeah, 105, but yeah, I think this box in the next 2 years can easily go to 200 easily. I think it's it's a good box, and it's a great set. So now the UPC has told a bit of a different story. Obviously, it had initially, this is only on the 1 year chart, but when it first got released, it had a massive spike in price, and it hasn't really done much since then. Obviously, it's been up and down, but overall hasn't really done much. It saw such great increase in price in the first innings of its life that it hasn't needed to really go up drastically since then. The metal cards are they're not really in demand. I mean, I'm seeing that there's obviously decent value to them, but they haven't really moved much in price, and that will need to move for this sealed product to move, a couple more percent upwards. To get this product moving, we need the metal cards to appreciate in value, and the promos, the Pikachu, the ball, the Pokeball. So for that reason, it's only up 12%. over the year. So it just needs a bit of a kickstart. I'm not the biggest fan of the metal cards, and I know there was this whole situation with them getting coming damaged, and because I've actually had some in my hands before I sold them. They were chipped at the top. Maybe the quality control isn't the best. So, but guys, you look at the price difference between a Charizard Metal 9 and the Charizard Metal 10. The 10 is so hard to get. And if you manage to get one that's not damaged, you need to be grading that Charizard, because the 10 goes for thousands of pounds. So yeah, that's just something I have to say about that. But overall, it's been a good investment if you got it at the start and you knew it was going to be a low print run. But it hasn't really moved much, guys. It has not really moved much. But it was a steal for 250. If you could have got it around that 250 mark, it's a steal. You want to be, obviously paying attention to some of these products when they move down as well. It'd be sometimes it's a good time to get in. Now, this is my baby. This is my baby. The Pokemon Center Celebrations Elite Trainer Box. What a product. I absolutely love this product. And I also love the other ETB, the normal ETB, but this was just the cherry on the cake. It was absolutely amazing. The fact that they had extra packs, they had a few Darkness Ablaze, Battle Styles, etc. in this. So you got a bit of exposure to that, as well as having extra celebrations packs. Yeah, look at the price, 56%. It's moved more than the normal ETB. I feel people got very impatient. People got very impatient with this. They bought it off the rip, like I did, off the rip, 65 a pop. And yeah, it sort of got lost in the ether, and people started selling when it hit that 120 mark. People started selling, and then it dropped to like 80, 85, 90. And I should have really been picking that up if I was sort of looking back now, that I should have been picking up for 90, 80. But look at it now. It's sitting at 160, happy at 160. The current price is around 150, 155. But yeah, guys, like I said, I've made a prediction. It's easily 200 by end of the year, and that I made that prediction when it was 120. It's easily going 200, I think, in my opinion, just from the way I'm seeing celebration cards now move. Yeah, I've got first-hand sort of exposure to this when I'm selling on eBay and selling my cards. These celebration cards are moving, guys. They are moving. There is a lot. I'm getting a lot of traction on eBay from buyers that want these cards. They want the Blastoise, the Charizard, the Venusaur. I'm getting 20, 30 watchers on these things, and I'm getting offers left, right, and center. And these things are moving. They're very liquid. They're very liquid if you get it in a 10. And guess what, guys? I love this set because it's easy to grade. The gem rates are ridiculous for this set. I absolutely love the fact that I'm more than likely going to get a 10 if it's in nice condition. I'm more than likely going to get a 10. The odds are with you. So that is why I love this set, and that is why I bought a collection not long. One of my first videos, guys, honestly, go back to the start of my channel. One of my first videos was I bought a celebrations, a full celebration set for £220, something like that. Like that was at the start. That was towards the mid of last year, so probably around June, I want to say, somewhere around there. But yeah, great buy, guys. You go look at that, and I will be making a follow up video soon when I manage to sell a bit more, because there's still some things listed on my eBay that haven't sold yet, but I'm sure they'll sell. There's only a few things left, so yeah. My eBay's in the description as well, guys. If you want to check it out below, my eBay's in the description. If you want to see some of the things I'm selling, some of the things, before they even get on the market, I'll let you know. So yes, Charizard, 31% in the last year. Not a lot of movement for a Charizard card, guys. And it's the base work original art. Not a lot of movement considering. I still think this card is undervalued. Obviously, there's a lot of this card graded. There's a lot of it around, but I think it's still undervalued right now. And the fact you could have got it for 55 around there, £60 is a steal deal. Steal deal. I've just sent one off for grading again. The one before came back in a 9. I was gutted about that because obviously it's a £200 card roughly in a 10. I've got another one getting sent off now, so I'm hoping to get a 10 in that. Um, yeah, it's around 80. It's a bit muted. It's very flat, so yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, something that isn't flat is this absolute stunner of a card, 240%. Guys, I am telling you right now, I have been talking about this Gold Star Umbreon for the longest time. The longest time. I've still got a 10 in this card. I've still got a 10 in this card. It's sentimental. You know, I got it for my birthday from family, so I'm not gonna sell it, but I've got a 10 in this card. The fact that you can get a gold star and pull a gold star, not the Greninja gold star, that's also very stunning to look at. I need to get that. But the fact that you can go back in time and sort of relive what it's like to get a gold star, Pokemon really know what they're doing, and that gives me so much more confidence in Pokemon looking forward. And yeah, look at the price, guys. $50. Obviously, it's had a high of £53, low of £15. You could have been picking these up for. Bro, I've seen seven. I was seeing £17 around that October mark. I could have picked more of this up. I didn't, but it is what it is. I was contacting a seller about picking one up, but then I didn't in the end. Um, yeah, it just goes to show you that if you pick the right card and you get it right, you know, the appreciation is there. Obviously, it's a lot more risky, which is why I don't normally like picking singles and wait in and investing in singles so much. I rather like buy and sell singles. Um, but it does pay off big. If you hit that, it does pay off big. The Muse had a great recovery run. It's up 30% year on year. But if you bought it at the low at 20 and you're selling at 40, you obviously doubled your money. So we're talking a bit more like 100%. Um, yeah, it's a great card. It's a great card. I've recently sold this on my eBay. Might have sold it a bit early because this obviously had its recent price run. I won't lie, I sort of got caught in the middle of this boom for celebrations. I got caught with my pants down a little bit. I sold another Umbreon Gold Star for £90 PSA 10. Obviously, we're looking at 150, 160 now. That was only a few months ago, guys. It was only a few months ago. This I sold for 60, 69, £70 in a 10. So God knows what it's going for now. It's probably upwards towards the 90 range. But it's a stunning card, and it's obviously this is the only. It's not a re artwork of an old Mew. You know, it's obviously a shiny Mew, but it's a brand new card, so that you can only get it in Celebrations. This artwork. So I feel like it's got a lot going for it. This card, it's got a lot going for it. Is it undervalued at 42? I I potentially would wait for a little bit of a pullback, but I still think it's a buy at 42. I think it's a buy at 35. I think it's a buy at 30. You know, at the end of the day, I think this card is going higher. I just don't know when. And you know, it's a great looking card, guys. You got to imagine like the good cards that look nice, they sell well. That's how it goes in this. Very simple in this hobby. It's not the old rocket science. Shiny Magikarp, surprisingly 177% gain. Now, obviously, these cards, like I say, guys, these original cards are very popular, and it's only a matter of time that we see this straight up spike where we see buyouts and manipulation, all that. It might be, or it could be organic demand. It could be, I don't know, but either way, these cards are moving and they're moving big. The volume was going crazy earlier this year. You know, you could have been picking this up for 8. It's now sitting double that at roughly 16, 15. It's obviously worked its all the way up to like 20. So we've seen a great appreciation in this card. And like I said, I've sold this as well. I've sold this recently for 55. I want to say 55. So again, sold it very low to you guys, to one of you lucky customers. Um, Great pickup. It was a great pickup at that price. So I'm not complaining. Again, very easy to grade, guys. Very easy to grade. You got to keep that in mind. Very easy to grade these cards. Now, again, surprisingly, very surprisingly, the I think it's from Roaring Skies. 88% Mega Rayquaza. 88%. I did not see this one coming. I have again sold one of these for I sold it in a deal, but it was roughly value about £50 for a 10. It's a good grading play. It was a good grading play. You could have got it for £6 and graded it, sold it for 50. It's decent margin there. It was a good grading play, and 88% movement is phenomenal for this card. Guys, this I wouldn't have thought that this card would have been as desirable as it is, but people like it. People like it, and I still think, is there much upside? I wouldn't be putting my house on this card specifically, but it is a very interesting card and interesting price movement to look at. Um, Moving on to another staple, guys. Another staple. You've seen how if you ignore all the prices, if you just focus on the card artwork and the card, these are banging cards, guys. You cannot tell me Celebrations is not a good set. If you think, oh, it's cheap, you don't like it because it's cheap. Well, that is such a backwards mentality, because eventually it won't be cheap. It won't be cheap. Sometimes the market gets it wrong. It's been getting it wrong all of last year. People have been sleeping on Celebrations all of last year. The start is January 24. I picked up all those 25th anniversary Pokemon Center boxes right at the start in 2021, whatever, 2022. They went out of stock, and then they came back into stock on the Pokemon Center, and I picked more up. I have 8 in total now. Yeah, they're absolutely gorgeous cards, gorgeous artworks, great nostalgia, guys. I'm telling you, this set will do very, very well long term. It will not stay cheap forever. And even with this movement, I still think it's cheap. What, £16 for a birthday Pikachu, £10 for a birthday Pikachu? Like, it's not out of this world expensive. And the fact you could have been picking this up for £4, 3, £4, it's ridiculous. It's such a nostalgia play. It really is. This hobby is run on good feelings and nostalgia, and that is exactly where the money will eventually go, to open packs. Where you want to relive some moments back in 2020, 2021. You want to go back 5 years later. You want to open some packs. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just the start for Celebrations, I believe. So let's look at some lessons learned, like I've been rambling on about. So, in my opinion, you need to review the market for undervalued and cheap cards. The market does not get everything right all the time, right? They will miss some sets because it's overprinted, because they think it's over, like Shining Fates, very overprinted set. Um, Vivid Voltage, very overprinted set. These things are starting to move now. Pokemon Go, Pokemon Center ETB has just sold out on the Pokemon Center. How strange is that? What do you think is going to happen to the price now? It's not the best set. I wouldn't say it's a pretty terrible set, but price is still going to go up. It's still going to go up. What I will say is, don't always follow the hype, and that's an obvious one. That's something people you hear a lot. You can follow the hype. I like to buy. I like to buy regardless. So whether I follow the hype, whether I don't, I do all of the above. So it doesn't really matter for my strategy. But yeah, I still buy prismatic. I haven't got anywhere near as much prismatic as I want, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna FOMO and let it take over my life. I've only got 2 Pokemon Center ETBs. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. I've only got 2. Um, I'm not gonna try and, if it lands on my lap that I can buy some more, I'll do it. But I'm not gonna let it consume my life, that I need just prismatic, because you end up focusing on the wrong thing. You end up taking your eye off the ball. You got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at where is the gap in the market? Where are people's eyes not looking? Okay, and that's what I'm saying. The market doesn't always value product correctly initially. I still think Stellar Crown is a great pickup. There's still Pokemon Center ETBs on the Pokemon Center. It's an absolutely stunning ETB. It's an okay set. It's a good set. It's better than a lot of sets. It's not the best set, but it's better than a lot of sets. And it's got the Noctowl. It's a great illustration. I still think it's a great pickup. And I think people are still waiting on Prismatic and Rocket, and they're not buying Stellar. And they need to, like, I'm telling you, you need to be buying these things I'm still thinking very heavily about buying some Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center ETBs. They're still there, guys. After all these years, they're still there. They're still on the Pokemon Center. Yes, they've been printed, but guys, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going to a card show. I'm going to be looking for Brilliant Stars singles. I'm going to be grading Brilliant Stars singles. I think that's the play right now. I really do. I think that's the play. I think the Trainer Gallery, the Sylveon, the Flareon, the Vaporeon, those Trainer Gallery cards, I think they're very undervalued. Brilliant Stars. Yes, there's a lot of there's been a lot printed, which is probably why they're so cheap. Well, cheaper than the rest of their peers in Sword and Shield. But I still think there's value there and there's long-term value, and you need to be thinking about that, because when it does move, it moves heavy. This is a very volatile market and it's a very sensitive market, and when the buck does drop, when it does happen, when the movement does happen, it's very fast, it's very sharp, and you will miss it. You will miss it because you can't, if you don't have it already, you can't magically get in on a Friday after, you need on a Friday after work afternoon. You can't FOMO into this product because you need to be aware that it's selling out. Which is very unlikely to happen. You'd be looking at your phone or Pokemon Center all the time, or you're looking at stock level, whatever. You're not going to be constantly on the ball, so you need to be prepared way beforehand. You need to stay consistent, which is my next point, and you need to slowly build up, all this inventory that you're trying to scale, and you're trying to get a nice collection together. You need to stay consistent, and you need to, A, buy and release, and B, look at where the market's not looking, guys. So I hope you found some value today, guys. Thank you very much for listening to me waffle away. I hope you got some nice value. But listen, if you like this video, please think about giving a like and a subscribe, and leave a comment if you feel like you disagree or want to rant in the comment section. I welcome you with open arms. So with that, guys, thank you very much. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.